So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining us for a day two discussion on Gita Gyan. So, today is 19th November 2024, Tuesday. So, here we gathered here to discuss on the summary of chapter 2. Okay. So, just a few word of request. In case if my line is breaking, please do tell me because something wrong with my Wi-Fi. So, I need to connect using my phone. All right. So if there's any glitch or anything, just immediately raise your hand or whatever, stop me and just say you can't hear so that I can repeat again. All right. So that's the thing, expecting, depending on this modern technology, it always like that. All right. So anyway, so I'm so happy that all of you turn up today. I would like to welcome all of you. Today is a very auspicious day. Whenever that we speak Bhagavad Gita, we discuss on Bhagavad Gita, the day is considered very, very, very auspicious. Okay. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer first. So we offer our gratitude to our preceptors. And with their blessings, let's start our today's program. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shahagara Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagragramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachare Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namsute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sampode Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nasta Presu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Seveya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tat Sat. So, today we're going to discuss chapter 2. Okay. Yesterday I was told that some of you were very confused with the character. Of course, we will discuss this character also today. So again, just a quick recap. It is like this. First, there is Bhishma, the grandfather, and he has 3 nephews. The eldest is Dhritarashtra, who is blind. Second is Pandu, who is sickly, and the third is Vidura. Okay, so because the elder brother is blind, the kingdom was passed to his younger brother. All right. So far, so good. So the elder brother's son is Duryodhana. All right. And the brothers. And the second brother's son, Pandu's son, is Yudhishthira. Okay. And also Arjuna. So Pancha Pandava, the 5 Pandavas. So because the kingdom was inherited to his younger brother Pandu, by right, his son supposed to be the king, but he died young, and therefore the kingdom, the grandfather passed back to the elder son who is blind, give it to him as a caretaker king until Yudhishthira grew up. Once he's able, so he can take over the kingdom. But what the uncle did, the elder uncle or Periyappa, what he did, he cheated on them and passed the kingdom to his own son Duryodhana, and that's when the sin is starting. All right. So anyway, whatever it is, the most important is the essence of Gita. Okay, now every one of us are going through some kind of stress in life. The stress can be due to so many reasons. Okay, example, loss of beloved ones, like what yesterday my uncle, my maternal uncle, Thai Maman, passed away in India. So like that, as things are going on, we start to see one by one people are leaving this world and creating so much of anxiety. And not only that, even the relationship in this world is creating so much anxiety. Like yesterday, when Mataji said about the issues with the husband. So like that, there are so many ways that we are put into anxieties and stress. Okay. So in this chapter 2, what we're going to learn is the entire Gita is going to summarize. Okay. And entire Gita is going to be expanded from this chapter 2. Okay. It's going to be the longest chapter. But of course, I managed to simplify as much as I can. Then, of course, you're expected to study your Gita after every session so that you can get more reinforcement. Okay. So before we start, is there any questions that you want to ask? Anything that you want me to clarify?
Yeah, before the chanting, what is that for? And where can I get it from?
You mean just now the mantra I chanted?
Yes.
That one you can find it in the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita. When you open your Bhagavad Gita, you see under the introduction. Okay. If you see under the introduction, you can see the mantras. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana. You can see it on the first or in page 1.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, any other questions? Tineshwari and Logeshwari, are you Vivan's sisters?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And Angel. Angel. Okay.
Yes.
Very. Okay. No problem. So now we start our session. So today I'm going to introduce to you a new slide that has been created by one of my students, Gita Gyan student. So she have made this slide so nicely, thanks to her. Her name is Krishika. So, okay. So, okay, how do I need to roll down? Okay, I need to roll down this way. Okay. So, ISKCON Malaysia, in collaboration with ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center, proudly presents the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, he has put there batch 3. All right, it's batch 4. Gita Gyan program. And today we're going to discuss on chapter 2, the contents of Gita summarized. So before that, let's take darshan from Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, a unique form of Krishna. Okay, what is this unique form? We will discuss as we go on. All right. I think in the following chapters, we will discuss on this, why the form so unique. So, okay, we have done the invocation prayer. All right. So today we dedicate a program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Without his mercy, we might have not got this wonderful, what they call Gita, that translated very scientifically and very practical in English. Just imagine, the Bhagavad Gita spoken 5,000 years ago, and the message is still valid till today. Okay, so we offer our obeisances and our gratitude to His Divine Grace, AC Abhaya Charana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. And of course, this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. He is a governing body commission and also a spiritual master. And also dedicate to my very dear God brother, late His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON Shishadipuram, creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita program worldwide. So let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya. Okay, what is it? Today's somebody's background. Okay. All right. So let's look at Gita Mahatmya number 2. All right. What it says: Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Shanti Papani Purva Janma Kritanicha. Okay. Let me get this thing. Okay. So what it says: Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Shanti Papani. Papani means sins. All right. Purva Janma. Okay. You understand Purva Janma? The previous birth. Kritani Cha. So it says here, okay, if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. So what we can understand from this? What we can understand from this? See, we are doing all kinds, okay, whatever suffering, whatever situation that we are going through, it's all because of our desire. Okay, there are 3 types of karma. First karma we call sanchari karma. Second we call prarabdha karma. Number 3 we call hutta karma. So what is all these karmas? We will discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. So please don't miss any class, because all these things are all hidden gem of the Bhagavatam of Gita that I'll be presenting here. So the idea about this Gita Gyan, especially the way I present, is it might be this is the only chance that you're going to go through this book, and after that you might not even touch it. All right. It is, I have seen from my experience that after they finish the Gita Gyan, and that's it, they don't touch the book. Okay, maybe once in a while they just open the book and they just try to refer. So what I'm trying to do is, this first attempt of you sitting here and studying the Gita is going to be the best attempt, and it's going to be the lasting attempt. All right. So I will try to give as much as possible and all this thing. So we have 3 karmas. Okay, what are those karmas? We will discuss as we go on, because it's too early for you to understand or grasp these kind of karmas. But here it says, but all the time that we are all suffering the consequences. Example, I give you a good example. What you have eaten yesterday, that is how you're going to look today. If only yesterday you have eaten rubbish, okay, eaten food which is terrible, and say something very risky, and today you'll be suffering. You'll be in a sluggish mood. All right. Just imagine yesterday you've taken something very, very hot. Oh, so today you'll be like having a stomach ache and you'll be like this. So similarly, what is our activity, and that is how our body. Okay, we get our body according to our desire and all this thing. And all the reactions that we are going through here is all because of our previous birth karma. All right. So that is why we are going to temple. We are doing this prayer. We are going to India. We are trying to bathe in Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Sindhu, Kaveri, and we are like to go to these kind of holy places like Vaikunth, like what they call Tirupati, what they call Tirutani. This 6 house of Murugan. What is that? Yeah, forgot the name. So, and all these kind of holy places we are going. What is that idea about going to the holy places and bathing in all these holy river? So that we can reduce our previous birth karma. We are all suffering because of that. Okay. So it takes so much of effort. We spend so much of money. We are traveling to India. We are doing this kind of expensive prayer. We are putting the fire and doing the fire sacrifice, fire yagya, yagam. We are doing all these kind of things just that we can reduce our previous birth karma, so that our life here can be very smooth. But here, Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasyacha Naiva Shanti. Naiva Shanti hi Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha. So it says that if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, it's not like simply read a novel, you just read with so much of seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of all his past misdeeds, all the past karma, whatever things, will not act upon him. So, my dear Prabhus and mothers, think about it. Studying Gita and reading Gita is the best ritual you can do. And you can do in the comfort of your own home without spending any money. All right. It takes so much of money and so much of preparation, so much of creation, visa, flight, money, and all these things, just simply to reduce a little karma from your previous birth. But here, Adi Shankara is saying, if you just simply read Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, all right, by the grace, all the reactions of the past misdeeds will not act upon you. So this is a fantastic ritual that you can consider. Okay. So, and even if you're going to pay attention to all our classes for the next 18 days, you can expect a big transformation is happening. So now the question is, what is that transformation is happening in me? Why suddenly things happen differently? Because you can understand all the previous, whatever grievous things that you have done is start to getting burned down. All right. So you're becoming more and more purified in your thought and your intelligence so that nothing is acting upon you. Okay. So think about it. All right. Now let's look at this understanding of this Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is understood by the person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. That is to say, he must be a devotee with a direct relationship. So Krishna is saying that. So we have to be devotee in a direct relationship. Just give me a second. All right. So it's by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. That is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship. So we must have a direct relationship with Krishna. Okay. Then with the Lord, as soon as one becomes a devotee, that means as soon as means at the moment a person becomes a devotee of the Lord, he also have a direct relationship with the Lord. Okay. He also will start to build his direct relationship with the Lord. Okay. That is very elaborate subject matter. All right. But briefly, it can be stated that a devotee is in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of the 5 different ways. Okay. So example, a person can be a devotee. That means it's a very big subject matter. Okay. We can go on talking about it. But in summary, a person can become a devotee of the Lord in just these 5 simple things. So one may be a devotee in a passive state. All right. Passive state. That means, okay, I'm a devotee of that's it. I'm just passive. And one may be a devotee in an active state. Okay, like we all are very actively involved in this devotional service. And one may be a devotee as a friend. Okay, you can be a devotee to Krishna as a friend. So like I remember in previous class, there's one person was saying, I'm always in fear. I'm always in fear that if I don't practice this, I may lose my human birth. I may fall down to animalistic life. I'm always fear. So always I approach Krishna, I approach God with so much of fear. But in Bhagavad Gita, you'll be surprised. Krishna doesn't want you to be fear of him. Krishna wants you to love him. All right? The loving relationship, how? You can be his friend. So one may also can be act like his parent. Okay? And one may devotee as a conjugal lover. Okay? You can be also a devotee as a conjugal lover. So these are the 5 ways a person can will be linking with Krishna in devotion as a devotee. Okay. So now let's look at 2.1 chapter 2 text 1 Bhagavad Gita. All right. Now we must understand here. So just to recap of what we discussed yesterday, Arjuna was distressed. Okay, he doesn't want to fight the war because he said he doesn't want to incur sin. Okay, he doesn't want to incur sin of killing his own kinsman. The sin is like He's afraid of the curses and all these things by the wives and the children. And he also feel that the what they call the tradition, okay, the family tradition may break. So he had many reasons not to fight. Okay, he had many reasons not to fight. And also we also understood that Arjuna is not a first-time fighter. He's not a first-time soldier. He's a veteran. He's a war veteran. He has fought many wars before. Okay. And what is the thing that Krishna also will address him as Dhananjaya? Dhananjaya means the one who fetch off the wealth. When a country is invaded, the first thing what they do, they take all their wealth. That's what happened from those days. When the British invaded India, they took away all their gold and diamonds like Kohinoor. All right. So that is very common. So now the same situation. So he has done so many wars. So so that's what puzzles Krishna. All right. You have been such a veteran, and some of what's happening. All right. So with all that lamentation, Arjuna, he is in distress. So whatever stress that we are going through in life, it's just maybe a drop of it. So Krishna has put Arjuna into a situation where he is severely depressed. Right? He's severely depressed because he need to fight against his own relations, own friend. And the thing is, he has to kill them. That is something which is extremely painful. All right. So sometimes a doctor doesn't operate his own relations. All right. With the own wife, own son, or whatever it is, the doctor doesn't distinguish. So the doctor has to call another doctor to do it. Because at that moment, the emotion will be flying high. Okay. So for that reason, they say, okay, call another doctor, the own family member, doctor, whatever. He doesn't do that operation on his own family members. All right. So the same situation here. Okay. So in 2.1, as we understood Sanjaya. So who is Sanjaya? Can anyone of you recall who is Sanjaya? Anyone? Sanjaya is Dhritarashtra's what they call secretary, and he's also a prime minister. He is the disciple of Vyasadeva, and through the mystic vision, he could see what is happening in the warfare, and is relating the story to Dhritarashtra. Is that okay? All of you got it?
Yes, yes.
All right, great. So if any one of you don't get it, please stop me. If anyone get it, you just can put a thumbs up. All right. So now after all that incident, the thing happened. Now Sanjaya is updating Dhritarashtra. He said, Sanjaya uvacha tang tata kripaya vishtang ashru purna kule kshanam vishidantam idang vakyam uvacha madhusudana. So M dot on top, we're going to pronounce like ng. So tang tata, with the tata, kr ra. So we're going to rr. So kripaya vishtam as ashtam. Ashru, this shampoo. Ashru purna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. So Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion. That means who? Now Krishna is looking at Arjuna with so much of compassion. Okay. His mind depressed. That means now we understand. Okay. Arjuna is his mind is full of his mind depressed. His eyes full of tears. That means Arjuna is crying. Arjuna is lamenting. Okay. Madhusudana, or another word of Krishna, spoke the following words. So again, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. So, Sri Krishna, all right. So now 2.2, let's see what Krishna says. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Now Krishna is speaking for the first time. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kutastva kashmalam idang vishame samupastitam anarya justang asvargyam akirti karam Arjuna. Now, okay. Now let's look at this. So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kutastva kashmalam. What is kashmalam? In Tamil also sometimes we used to use kasmalam, right? Like kasmalam. We think that kasmalam is actually a very nasty or distinct word. But kasmalam means impurity. And the kasmala tuki podi. In Tamil, sometimes they kasmala tuki, de kasmala, de poda kasmala, something like that. Kasmala means dirt, impurity. All right. So kutastva kasmalam idam here. How could this come to you here? Vishame samupastitam, anarya justam asvargyam. Akirti karma Arjuna. Karam Arjuna. So the Krishna says, the Supreme Personality said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities came upon you? He was surprised. How have these impurities came upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. Okay. They lead not to the higher planet, but to the infamy. Okay. So he's asking. So that means, he's asking how they are not value of befitting men who knows the value of life. So that's what Krishna is asking. So now, if you see, Krishna seems to look shocked or surprised. In other words, not shocked, surprised. He said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities came upon you? All right. They do not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. All right. Because for a soldier, they are the greatest happiness when there is war. When you look at Brahmanas, their beauty is knowledge. Okay. It's not that the one who always like to go and look at this, the caste system and all this nonsense. That is all totally bogus, invented by the British to divide the Indians and create disharmony among them. In Vedic literature, I will prove it to you in Bhagavad Gita. There are so many challenges, especially to Sanatan Dharma, especially by the South Indian politicians. They say that the Vedic literature are racist, are caste, they have caste system. Okay, Ambedkar and all these people have created, say that this is nonsense. But actually, I can prove it to you in Bhagavad Gita itself. You will understand that there's no such thing as caste system in this Vedic literature. It is a division of duty. Okay. Anyway, we will discuss this as we go on. So please make sure don't miss any class. So now, for Brahmanas, the intellectual people, their beauty is knowledge. They can, how intelligent, how wonderful, that's their beauty. For a Kshatriya or the warrior, their beauty is the scars on the face. You know, when they go for a fight, there's a scar, there's a cut here, cut around. That is their beauty. For a Vaishya or a business people or a merchant, their beauty is their wealth. How much gold they can, right? How much gold they keep, how much wealth they have, that is their beauty. And for Shudra, how faithful are they in serving is their beauty. All right. So now Krishna is saying that always when there's a warfare, the soldiers are always looking forward, because for them to die as a warrior is their great pride. So that's why he was like surprised and says, how this thing came upon you? You know, they do not befit a man who knows the value of life. All right. He seems to be surprised. Now, in 2.7, so Krishna is continuing. All right. And then after that, then Arjuna is speaking. Arjuna said, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prachami tvang dharma samuda chetaha yachreyasya nischitam bruhitan me shishyaste hangshadi mang tvang prapannam. So when we see that from this verse, that means we see from verse 2 to verse 6, Krishna will be asking a lot of questions. Okay. So now, after going through all these things, so then Arjuna was so depressed and so sad. Okay. He's basically crying. He just couldn't make any decision. He's so worried. He's thinking, is it worth the effort? Sometimes we also put into that kind of situation, right? You know, sometimes we start to see, why is this happening to me? Why this kind of suffering is going through to me? So now Arjuna is start to think, is it worth the effort? Right? He couldn't make any decision. He was extremely sad. He's extremely depressed. He's extremely frustrated. Okay? And his mind is totally blank. Okay? He don't know whether to kill them or to be killed. He just doesn't know what to do actually. In that kind of frustrated situation, what he says, Karpanya dosho. all that attachment, sarva bhava prachamitam dharma sammuddha cheta. I don't know what to do now. Yachreyasa nishchitam bruhi tanmi. Nishchita. Nishchita in Tamil we call nichiyamaga. So please tell me it decisively. Give me very strong conviction. Okay. Then after that, he did another thing. Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. Shishyaste. Shishyas means disciple. Sishyargal. Sishya means disciple. All right. So unto you, nam ham sadi mam tvam prapannam. So I surrender unto you. So now what happened? Because of this frustrated situation, now Arjuna, he did this. He said, Arjuna said, no, we know which is better. We don't know which is better. Conquering them or being conquered by them. I don't know which is better. To conquer them or get conquered. Okay. So now he says, then after that he continues, he said, if we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, that means his own Peripa's son, his uncle's sons, Pangali, right? If we kill the own sons of Dhritarashtra, he said, we should not care to live. Okay. We should not care to live because they are our first cousins. All right. So we don't know whether to conquer them or being conquered. But if we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Right? But yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Now, they are just standing right in front of us in the battlefield. Okay? So you're so depressed. All right? It's to know whether to kill them, not to kill them, but they all are standing right in front of us. All right? In the battlefield with the upraised weapon, getting ready to kill. He said, this is totally not fair. Okay. Right. Then in 2:11. Okay. So 2:11, Krishna continues. Just give me a second. Huh? All right. See, the translation 2.7 is extremely wrong. I'm so sorry for that. That's why I was wondering why the translation is wrong. I didn't check on this. All right. So anyway, so now he's saying you don't know whether to conquer this thing, okay? But the translation for 2.7, it says like this. Now I'm confused about my duty. Okay. I confused about my duty and I've lost all composure because of miserly weaknesses. Okay. Because of these miserly weaknesses of giving touch, to conquer this thing, right? In this condition, okay, in this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. So Krishna, Yachreya san nishchitam bruhi. Nishchitam, that means tell me decisively, nichiyama, tell me decisively what is best for me. Then after that, what Arjuna says, Shishyaste ham shadi mam tam diprapannam. Then he says, now I am your disciple and soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So Arjuna is saying, now kindly give me instruction. So in 2.7, sorry, the translation was wrong. The girl made a mistake here. So the 2.7, it says that Arjuna is saying, I don't know which is better. Okay. I am so confused. Karpanya doso. I'm just confused of my duty because of miserly weaknesses. Because I need to fight against my own relations. Okay. So because and then after that he says, so now I'm asking you, tell me for certain. Now Arjuna is telling, please tell me for certain what I should do. Okay. Shishyaste ham shadi mam tam prapanam. Tell me for certain what Yachreya san nishchitam ruhi tanme. Please tell me for certain what I should do. Then after that, and the thing is, he used this word, Shishyaste ham shadi mam prapanam. He said, now, okay, I am your disciple and soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Okay, now the question is, what is that disciple means? Okay, why did Arjuna didn't say, I'm your friend, please give me suggestion. Okay, please give me your opinion. He didn't use that word. He says, Shishyasteham. I am your disciple. And please give me instruction. So we should understand the guru-disciple relationship. The guru-disciple relationship is like this. Once we accept a guru, the guru will not give you suggestion. The guru will never not give you opinion, but the guru will give you instruction. All right. So when I accept a guru means, that means I surrender unto the guru, and the guru will give me instruction. And whatever the instruction the guru gives, I accept without even thinking twice, without even contesting, without even try to see the logic behind it. Are you sure you're telling the right thing, guru? No, we don't do that. All right. But the teacher teaches. Okay, when you say about teacher teaches, okay, it's up to me whether to accept or not to accept. All right, the lecturer teaches. It's my opinion whether to accept or not to accept. But when a guru gives you instruction, you have to accept it without even contesting it. So that's why here Arjuna has surrendered to Krishna as a disciple. So as a disciple means, he said, then after that he says, please give me instruction. You have to give me instruction. Tell me what to do and what not to do. All right. So that's the thing. So now at this 2.7, we understand that actually Arjuna surrenders to Krishna as the disciple. Okay, now 2.11. 2.11, Krishna is saying, okay, he says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashochang Anvashochastvang Pranyavadangscha Bhashase Gatasun Agatasungscha Nanushochanti Panditaha. So now Bhagavan is chastising Arjuna. Chastising Arjuna means what? Is something like scolding him. Chastising means scolding is different. Chastising means to correct him. All right. So a guru chastise, a father chastise the child. All right. When we scold a child, we are trying to correct the child. So they're called chastisement. So now Bhagavan is chastising. Ashochan anvashochastvang. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking, right, learned words. Okay. So while you're speaking learned words, let me see. Now you're speaking like a big time learned words. You are mourning for what is not worth of grief. Okay. You are speaking like a learned person. Okay. What is the word here? Pranya vadangsche bhase katasum. Okay. Like the word is pandita. Okay. Nanu shochanti pandita. Pandita means pandit, a learned person. In Tamil, we call pandidar. Pandidar mari pesra. Ana inga polambikittu irukka. Something like that. So pandita. That means he's a pandita, means he's a learned person. So he's saying, while you're speaking very learned words, all right, you're speaking very learned words, but you are mourning. mourning. When people die or this thing, lamenting, the worst lamentation is mourn, to mourn the loss. So mourning for what is not worth of grief. All right. Those who wise, that means Krishna says, those who wise, all right, the word wise means intelligent, lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So the wise person will not lamentation, polambradu, or grief for something which is not neither for the living nor for the dead. So Krishna is saying this. He says the wise person or the intelligent person do not lament for those who are living or those who are dead. All right. So then in 12, Krishna continues. Na tve ahang ajatu na tve vahang jatu nashang na tvang ne me janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam ata param. Never there was a time when I did not exist nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So what does that mean? Na tve vaham jatu nasham na tvang nehe janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayamata param. So here the translation, never was there a time when I did not exist. So Krishna is telling, there was not a time that I did not exist and you did not exist. And all these kings did not exist. And in the future, they also will not disappear. They shall any cease to be. That means in the future, they also will not cease to exist, or they will not disappear. In other words, what Krishna is saying here, that we are all eternally existing. You and I, every one of us, including cockroaches, including all the things, all the living entities, they were existing eternally. All right. We in the 100 over years ago, we existed. 1,000 over years ago, we existed. In the future, 100, 5,000, 10,000 years down the road, we also will still exist. Okay. So that's why Krishna says there was never a time when all these people never exist. Because Arjuna is saying, I'm going to kill them. It's sinful. It's not good. I'm going to kill them. So Krishna is saying, look here, all these people existed before. And in the future, they're going to go on existing. Okay. There was never a time that they did not exist. And in the future, they will not exist. There's never such thing. Okay. Everyone get this idea? Anyone confused?
Is that they are telling that people will not, those who die will repeat born again? Is it like that?
Yes, correct. That means they go on existing. Okay. Anyone else got any question? Okay, you all understand this? All right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, everyone, So I assume by who's the girl? Tinishwari answering, I assume that everyone understands, Okay. All right. But no worries. All right. This is only the Krishna is giving the introduction. Now, in 213, and after that, Krishna is continuing. He's saying 213, Dehinosmin yata dehe, Dehinosmin yata dehe, Kaumaram yauvanam jara, Tata dehantara praptir, Dirastatra na muhyati. So Krishna is saying, okay, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dirastatra na muhyati. So Krishna is saying here, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body. Okay, now let's look at this. What does this embodied means? Embodied. Embodied means the soul which was put into a body. This is a body here. And the soul enters into the body. So the soul is covered by the body. That's why we call embodied. All right. So embodied soul, that means the soul which has set into the body. All right. Continuously passes. It keeps going on passing. It's continuously passing. Where? In this body. So in other words, so that means the soul, the embodied soul, the soul that has been kept in the body is go on passing in this body, in your body. All right. How? From boyhood to youth to old age. That means once upon a time, all of you had this body of a baby. Then you had a body of a toddler. Then you had a body of a boy, young boy. Then you had a body of the youth. Then you had a body of a man. Then after that, you have a body of, then your body will go on dwindling. All right. You have a middle age, then old man. Then after that, become a very old man. Then after that, the body dies. Okay. So what Krishna is saying here is the soul continuously passing through in this body from boyhood, youth to old age. First, we had a childhood, girlhood body or child. Okay. Then we became a youth and we become old. So what does it mean by passing? What does it mean by passing? So that means, you see, when you look back your photo a year ago or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you'll be surprised you look so different. But because you're sitting in that body and the progress happening so slowly and gradually, you don't see the difference in you. The only thing is when you look back your photos 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you start to see, wow, I looked like this before. Oh, then why I look different now? So that means the body is changing. So when the body is changing, means the soul is passing through this body. First, the soul passed through the body of a baby. You had that form of a baby, right? Then you passed through the form of a youth. And eventually the thing will pass through in the form of an old age. Okay. So he says, okay, Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara, old age. The soul, then after that, Krishna similarly passes into the another body at the time of death. So as our body start changing, it's going. At the time of death, okay, what happened? The soul goes into another body. Okay. The soul accepts another body. Okay. So it's just like this. You having a car. Okay. The car is dead. Yes or not? The car is dead. Then now you go into the car, you start the car come back to life. Maybe during your college or your university time, you might have driven a Kanchil, Axia or something like that. After that, you get your first job. Maybe you upgrade to Myvi. After that, you become, then you start to have a family. Maybe you start to go for a bigger car. Maybe Toyota, what do you call that? The whatever car, right? So you just go for a sedan car, not a hatchback. You're going for sedan because you need to go travel with your family. You have to put all that tram and there's what they call pampers and all this kind of you have to put in the car. So you bought a bigger car, all right? Then after that, your family even become more bigger. Okay. Then what do you do? Okay, the sedan car, maybe you start to have 1 or 2 children. Okay, now you start to have 3, 4 children. You start to realize, and your mother also staying with you. You start, oh, this sedan car, 5-seater is not enough. So you upgrade to a bigger car, 7-seater. Okay. Then after you go to the 7-seater, then after the children all grown up and all this thing, they all leave the nest. They all married and gone. So now you feel, I do not need to have a 7-seater car anymore. So I give up the 7-seater car and go back to Axia or maybe Myvi, because husband and wife, both old, retired old people, why I need to have a big car? So that means the car is changing. All right. So whenever one car is given up, you go to the next car. The thing given up. So similarly, the soul passing through one body to another body. Once the body become useless due to disease and old age, the soul will discard that body, will go into another body. And that transition period we call as death. Okay. So now what Krishna says, a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So what is that sober person? A person who has that knowledge of the changes. All right. The knowledge, those who knows what is happening in them. So these are the person is not bewildered. They're not shaken. They're not, okay, there's a kind of sadness is there, of course. Even the car that you want to give up, you go to the next car. So you feel, oh, such a good car. Okay. You give up, but you're excited looking for a new car. All right. So that means the sober person is not bewildered. He shouldn't get agitated with such a change. So far, so good. Any question? All right. So now, 217. Krishna continues. Avinasi tu tat viddi yena sarvam idang tatam vinasham anvayasyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. So this is very important verses. All right. This is the ones avinasi tu viddi. All right. So okay. So in this verse, Krishna says what? What he says? Avinasi tu yat viddi yena sarvam, everywhere, idam statam. So it says, Krishna says here, that which pervades the entire body. The thing that pervades the entire body. Pervades means the one that controls, the one that shines entire body. You should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So now it's like this. Okay, what does that mean? See, for instance, okay, there is a soul. All right, there's a soul in between. Can you see the thing I'm drawing? So this soul, okay, what Krishna says here, the one that what they call the one that pervades the entire body. What pervades means the soul is here and this soul pervades the entire body. Okay, the thing is entire body. So that means because there is a soul, you are moving, you are acting, you're talking. Okay, the soul that lives in your heart, that in the heart, the one pervades the entire body. So once when there's a soul leaves the body, okay, when the soul leaves the body become useless, and we call that as death. Okay, so now Krishna is saying here that no one, so the entire thing you should know to be indestructible. You can't kill that thing, you can't kill that soul. Okay, then he says no one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. So the soul is imperishable means the soul can never be destroyed by anyone or by any means. So far so good? Okay, if you don't understand, please stop me immediately. Okay, Rusan, yes, Mataji, you want to say something? Rusan Chang?
No problem. Yeah,
Okay. All right, okay. So now we understand. So the one that pervades the entire body, just like the sun, when the sun shines, the entire darkness disappears. Yes or not? At night, you don't see anything. But when the sun starts to rise, the entire darkness all disappear. So what we call that? The one is the one that pervades. That means the one who pervades the entire darkness. So once the sun rises, all the darkness disappears. So similarly, there's one particular soul that stays in the once it what do you call? It pervades the entire body. Now, 22. So now, then after that, Krishna is saying, of course, he's refuting the argument. Okay, now, okay, in text 22 to 2.22, he says, Vashangsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinnati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sangyati navani dehe. So this one, I hope that you all please go through and read back your Bhagavad Gita again so that you will know, okay, you'll think, okay. So what Krishna says here, so it says here, Vasangsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinnati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sangyati navani dehi. He says, as a person puts on a new garment, new shirt, giving up the old one, the soul similarly accepts the new material body, giving up the old and useless one. So that means just like changing dress. It is not the dress that you change in the morning and go back to your pajamas at night. We are not talking about that dress. Say like, for example, the dress is torn, especially when comes Pongal, right? Bogi. They take all the old useless dress they used to burn, right? They burn the thing. So all that thing like torn dress and all this. So when the shirt, everything becomes torn, what I need to do, I need to simply throw it away. And I buy a new one and put it on. So that means says, just like the person who puts on a new garment, giving up the old one, the soul similarly accepts new material body. All right, they accepts a new material body by giving up the old and useless one. Once the body becomes old due to disease, due to accident or the severe injury and everything, the body is going to be useless. But when we are trying to live in that kind of disease body, we're going to suffer even further. So what the soul do? We'll just give it up and go to the next one. Okay, so it's simple as that. Okay, by giving up the old one, going to the new, and giving up the old one means giving up the useless ones. All right, now we understand. Okay, now I'm taking out these few verses here, verse 23, 24, and 25. What he says, the soul can never be cut into pieces. So Krishna is explaining the soul that can never be cut into pieces. You can't cut the soul into pieces by any weapon, or cannot be burnt by fire. Okay, or cannot be moistened by water, or cannot be withered by the wind. Okay, this individual soul is unbreakable insoluble, and can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. So now what we can understand from this? All right. It says, okay, Krishna is saying here that the soul can never be cut into pieces because the soul is so tiny. You cannot cut the soul into small pieces. You can't even burn by fire. Okay. And it cannot be moistened. It cannot be like run in water, right? Moistened by water, or cannot be withered by wind. Okay. This individual soul. Now the word is individual. What does that mean, individual? Right? Individual means that you and I and all of us are individual personality. We are not an equal personality. We are not one. We are not same. Okay. This is a very big what they call information, or I should say is a very big misconception. Sometimes in religious life, they say everything is same. All the God are same. Everybody is same. No, no one is same. Even you as a person are totally different from your own father. You are totally different from your own mother, even though that you are the product of them. Okay, you're produced from your father and your mother, but you are not the same. When you talk about like twins, like my father-in-law, they are not the same. How can we say everything is same? No, nothing is same. Even you are created only once in this entire creation. No one is going to look like you in the entire future. Even your thumbprint, the way you look, the way you act, the way you talk, you are unique. So you are a unique person. So you are an individual soul. You are not a random person. So what we can understand from today onwards is we must know the discrimination. Everything is not one. Everything is not same. Everything is different. All right. So now Krishna says here the individual soul is unbreakable. You can't break it. You cannot insoluble. You can't put it in the water and become dissolve, and cannot be burnt nor dried. He's everlasting. Everlasting means what? He's lasting forever, and he's present everywhere. What does that mean? You can see all living entities in everywhere, right? You can see mosquitoes. You can see ants. Anywhere you can see, you see some kind of living things. So whenever the things are living, that means there is a soul present in them. It is not that only the soul present in human body. The animal, there's no souls, no such thing. Everywhere, everything is present everywhere. All right. And the thing is, doesn't change. All right. It's immovable. And after that, eternally the same. It's forever the same. Okay. And it's also said that invisible, the soul is invisible. It cannot be seen. Why? We'll discuss this later. Inconceivable, cannot be understood. Immutable, it cannot keep quiet. Have you seen a person who are alive staying mute? We can say, I know a sadhu who does never talk for the last 20 years. Mauna Vrata. Doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't walk around. It doesn't mean that he doesn't look left and right. Right? The only one that can get muted when the person dies. As long the person is alive, it's immutable. That means the soul is immutable. You can't make the soul to keep quiet in one place. It cannot stay idle. All right. So then Krishna says, knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Because the soul is keep changing and changing and changing. So Krishna says, don't grieve for the body, because Arjuna is so worried about killing his own uncle. He's so worried about killing his own grandfather Bhishma. He's a Guru Dronacharya. Right? He's so much in worries. He said, I need to kill them. But Krishna is saying, you're not killing them. You're only killing their body. So you don't worry. You cannot kill them because they are the soul. You can't kill them with any weapon. You cannot take the Brahmastra weapon and burn. The soul will never be burnt. Right? You cannot take the thing and drown in the water. Only the body dies, but the soul doesn't die. You cannot put withered by the wind, just like how that sometimes when you hang the person in the wind, right? Right? You can't do that. So you should not grieve for the body. Okay. Now, 237. In 237, Krishna is saying, "Oh, son of Kunti." All right. Okay. What is son of Kunti? Arjuna's another name is, Arjuna's mother is Kunti Devi. Okay. Arjuna's mother's name is Kunti Devi. And Kunti Devi is Krishna's father's sister. So for him is Atte, right? And that's why you see Krishna and Arjuna are cousins, right? Okay, now. So now he says, "Oh, son of Kunti." That means Duryodhana, I mean, what they call, what is his name? Arjuna is addressed as son of Kunti. So what he says, either you will be killed in the battlefield. Now he's saying that. Now he say, either you'll be killed in the battlefield, or and attain the heavenly planet, or you'll conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So Krishna is suggesting to Arjuna. What does it mean? He says that either you'll be killed in the war, either you'll be killed, and after you get killed, what happened? You go to heavenly planets. Okay, that's why we say, right? Yesterday we discussed that. The reason they decide to fight in Kurukshetra, if they win, they get the what they call kingdom. If they lose, they go to heaven. Okay, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. So then Krishna is suggesting, therefore, get up with determination, with full determination and fight. Okay, when you see, okay, so you fight. If you don't fight, infamy, people start to call you coward. Everybody start to say Arjuna is a coward, run away. They don't know. No one understands that Arjuna left the place because of mercy, because his compassion. No one understands. They all run away because of his scared. But if he wins, all right, if he fight, if he wins, he get earthly kingdom. If he loses, he go to heavenly planet. So it's still win-win situation. So therefore, Krishna is saying, so get up and fight. Okay. So now what we can understand from here? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Tanishwari, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, whenever we kill somebody, our own relation, means Sitapa and everything, mother or father, is still under karma, right? Even though we are going to heaven.
That is what Arjuna is saying. I kill my own uncles, own cousins, is karma. I don't want to fight. So that is why Krishna is saying, you are in the warfare, in the battlefield, and it's your duty to fight. When it comes to war, okay, when it comes to place to perform your duty, you have to perform your duty. So you have to fight. So then Krishna is saying, so now you're thinking of killing your own relation, but you must understand you're not killing them actually. You're only killing their body, because they are undestructible, because the soul is indestructible. You can't kill them. They will always forever exist. After their body is killed, they go to the next body. They just go on going. But it's your duty to perform your job as a soldier. Okay? So that's why Krishna says, do your job. Say, like, for instance, if you are a police inspector, and if suddenly you go to ambush one place, suddenly you see your own brother there, or own relation there, will you say, oh, you're my own relation, so I will let you go? Will you do that? You get me?
Sometimes, right? There's some there's never don't have incarnation means you won't repeat to born whenever you're going to Kasi. There's a thing some weddings, right? Understand?
Again, ask the question again.
Some people going Kasi, for example, Pura or something like that.
All right.
And then they will not born again. That's the reason they're saying like that, right? But here they mention whatever we kill or do something, we will born again. So there's two different things, right?
Yes. So what is the difference here? You can see, Tinishwari. You asked a fantastic question.
I feel like there's a confusing actually. Is it we are praying
Okay,
for
so
again,
okay,
right?
fair enough. It is confusing. There's those who go and die in Kasi, they'll never born again. That's one argument. And here Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, when a person dies, he's gone living.
Yes.
So which is the right thing now, in your opinion?
If I feel like I don't want to born again.
Definitely. Everyone of us, that's a secret that Krishna going to reveal in chapter 18. Go on the class, you will start to see what is that possibility that will never be born again. Okay, now that answer you'll get in Bhagavad Gita. But now the question is, it's like some people say, if you die in Kasi, you'll never born again. But Krishna says here, so which is which now?
I have no idea on that.
Okay, very simple. Those who say that you go and die in Kasi, you'll never born again, it is by speculation. What is your reference? In everything that we want to do, we must have reference. What is your reference? In which Vedas did you check that? Who said that? Who said that? There is actually, the meaning is totally different. Those who die in Kasi, they won't go to hell actually. All right. But what happened? A sinful person dies in Kasi. We will discuss this as we go on. Maybe when we go to chapter 7 or chapter 8, please remind me to explain this to you. A person who dies in Kasi but don't go to hell, but what will happen to him? Okay. So that is that idea. So that is why we must have the Vedic literature reference. It is, we must understand that our culture is not based on grandmother's story, right? Our forefathers tell this story, this thing. No, we must have reference. So what Krishna says here, a person dies, he gone living. Okay. And how the thing is gone living, we will discuss this maybe in chapter 4. Chapter 4, you'll understand that. Okay, finish?
Okay.
All right. Okay, now, any other question? Okay, we just go on. All right. So this is the question that we must ask. Ke ami. He says, who am I? Asking who am I is the beginning of intelligence. So now the question is, the soul is imperishable. I'm living in this body for the last 46 years, and I'm so convinced that I am this body. All right. But the problem is, one day, a day will come that this body will dwindle and fall down, and my wife and my children will not keep me with them, saying, oh, my beloved husband, my beloved father, so put me in the bed and just stay with me. They won't do that. They immediately will wrap me up, put in a coffin, and send to the incinerator and burn me to ashes. So I am so confused that this is my body. But it looks like I cannot stay in this body forever. Something has left the body, the all-pervading. So now the question is, who am I? So this is the question, a question that triggers the intelligence. Right? So these are the questions that we should ask. Okay? So with that thing, all right? So now let's look at this. So who am I is the question that all of us should ask. And this is what the Bhagavad Gita going to address. So who am I? I am a spirit soul. But I have been infused into this material body. That is why I'm called as embodied. So I'm living in a body. Okay. So that's the thing. So that's things that we should always think about. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I put into this kind of awkward situation? Why am I suffering? And all these things. Okay. Okay. So now. Okay. Now we see here, there are facilities are given to the officer. And this thing, okay, when you see, sometimes when you go on the road, you see there's some VIP will be given a police escort, and they'll be going through, this thing, and some people are, and we all get stuck in the jam, but they will get easy access. Because more facilities are given to the government officer. because they have to discharge more important duties. So similarly, the human beings are given more facilities to discharge higher duty. So when we compare ourselves with cats and me, that means the cat, the animal and I, so we are given a more facility to discharge higher duty. Okay. So that means, in other words, we are not meant to simply live a life like an animalistic life. Okay. But we are given a facility to discharge higher duty. That means we got some reason why we have taken a birth of a human being. Okay. Now let's look at this. The speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Lord Sri Krishna. He is mentioned in every page as Bhagavad Gita as the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Bhagavan. Okay. Of course, the word Bhagavan sometimes refer to any powerful person or any powerful demigods. And certainly here Bhagavan designates Lord Krishna as the great personality. But at the same time, you should know that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as is confirmed by all great acharyas. So now when we see that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so we also don't take it very blindly. Who said that? So it's also confirmed by all great acharyas. Great acharya means great spiritual masters like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka Swami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many other authorities of the Vedic knowledge of India. So all these great authorities have already said. Okay. So now in Gita, the Lord himself has established himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Bhagavad Gita. And is accepted as such in Brahma Sanghita. In Brahma Sanghita, Lord Brahma will be singing. Chapter 5, text 1. Ishvara Paramakrishna, Satchitananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara means controller. Sarva means sarva, everywhere. So the supreme controller is Krishna. Ishvara Paramakrishna. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. Ananda means beautiful. Vigraha means body. Anadir Adir Govinda. Sarva Karana Karanam. You understand this. Sarva Karana is the cause of all causes. All right. So there's a thing that's mentioned in Brahma Samhita and all the Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, which is also known as Bhagavata Purana. In Bhagavata Purana, it says Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Therefore, we should take Bhagavad Gita as it is, directed by the personality of Godhead himself. So that means the Bhagavad Gita has to be understood the exact way that Krishna spoke in this. Right? So now we do a recap. So just now we spoke about Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study, the descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body. All right. So now let's explore Buddhi Yoga. So what is Buddhi Yoga means? Work in Krishna consciousness in the full bliss and knowledge of the devotional service. Okay. Now let's continue 239. Do you think you all need a short break? Or shall I just move on?
Can continue, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you. So in 239, let's see what Krishna says. Eshate bihita sanke buddhir yoge tvam buddhir yoge tvimang shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandang prahasyasi. See what Krishna says here. Lord Krishna says, thus far I have described the knowledge to you through analytical study. Analytical study means scientifically, the soul, the body, the difference, right? Now listen as I explain in the terms of working without fruitive result. Okay, now you want to explain how to work without fruitive result. That means what? Fruit means when you plant a tree, what is your expectation? The fruit. So the fruit is that effort of planting the tree. So the result, the benefit. So now he says how you can work without expecting any result, without fruitive result. Okay. O son of Pritha. Pritha also another name of Arjuna. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. That means when you act in such a way that you can free yourself from the bondage of work. Because Arjuna is lamenting, I am the doer, I am killing them. I'm going to kill them. What is the point? I'm going to get seen and everything. So at first Krishna says, I'm going to kill all my family members, my elders like Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya. All my relatives are there, standing there. All my kinsmen are there. So I don't know whether to conquer them or kill them or get conquered. So I don't know what to do. Yes or not? So then Krishna refused. You're actually not going to kill them, but you're only killing them their body. But that is for the sake of your duty. Don't think you are the doer. Right? And now here, after that, now the second introduction that Krishna is giving is how we can work without without fruitive result. We just do our job without expecting any result. Okay, this is also a fantastic peace formula. Okay, this peace formula we discuss in detail in chapter 3, but today is just a overview. Krishna is giving overview. Chapter 3 and chapter 5. You will be wondering, you know, this, every one of us are looking for peace. How that we can create peace even in this current life, right? So now, he says, I have first described the knowledge through the analytical study. Now listen as I explained in terms of working without fruitive result. Okay, when you act in such a knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. Okay, now 240. Krishna says, Neha bikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swa alpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. Okay, son of Prata means the mother got another name called Prata. Okay, Prutta. Okay, the mother got many names. Prutta, then what they call Kunti, like this. Okay, son of Prutta. Okay, the name of Arjuna's mother. All right. Now, so what Krishna says here, and this is something that we should really think about it. 240, yeah. Okay, wait. 240. What Krishna says, in this endeavor, there's no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So now Krishna is giving suggestion. He says, taking up this path, working without expecting any result, and surrendering the result to the Lord, okay, or to engage in this devotion. That means what he says, from here until you finish up the Bhagavad Gita, is all the important things are going to be revealed. So Krishna says, in this endeavor means what? Muyarchi, or this attempt. So endeavor is something that you are putting an effort. Whether it's going to be success or not, it's immaterial. Okay, we just say endeavor, do your job, just do your best, whether it's going to do or not. So in this endeavor, so in this muyarchi, in Tamil we call muyarchi, in this endeavor, there's no loss or diminution. So Krishna is saying, even if you don't make it, even say you endeavor halfway, you stop, you give up. But Krishna says there's no loss or diminution. That means there's no loss or diminution means you're not going to waste it. There's no loss. All right. And also he says a little advancement in this path, okay, will protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And what is that most dangerous type of fear? To be born into an animal kingdom. All right. See, the worst kind of birth is to be born into the kingdom of animal. Imagine if you have seen a rat, or you just imagine every one of you seeing cockroaches, right? Now the rainy season, you see a lot of cockroaches are roaming around. You see, cockroach doesn't take a stroll. It from one corner to run to another corner, from that corner go and hide into that corner, hide. It's going around hiding. Same thing, the rat. You just go and suddenly the eyes will be like looking left, right, left, right. Just like even a dog, even a cat. Right? It is always under anxiety. Anytime the attack will come, like the bird. Okay? The left, right, eat. Left, right, eat. Why? So much of fear. They are in always full anxiety anytime the danger will come. So to be born into the kingdom of animal kingdom is the worst kind of fear. So Krishna says here, even if you endeavor, if you don't make it also, it's okay. There's no loss. All right? But this little advancement will protect you from the greatest type of danger. Okay? And of course, we will explain this as we go on in the following chapters. So now, example, in this life, you can be a graduate. Okay, you can be very highly acclaimed graduate, doctor, whatever it is. But when you go to the next life, you still have to start from ABC. You cannot say, oh, I've been a great scholar. So born, I became able to become a scholar. No. Or in previous birth, I'm a doctor. So when I'm born in this birth, I immediately become a doctor. No, you can't do that. So material qualification does not continue in the next life. You have to start again from zero. But in this life, you perform a little bhakti by chanting or reading Bhagavad Gita. All right. So where you stop, you're simply going to continue in your next life. The spiritual qualification continues in next life from where it was left. Example, in this birth, you have achieved up to maybe 10%. After they give up, bhakti, so liche, I don't want. I'm not interested. But next birth, you're going to continue from where you stop. That means you're going to start from 11th% onwards. So you come to 30, 50%. Then again, you're born again. You're going to continue until you reach your 100%. Then you go back home, back to Godhead, to Goloka or Vaikuntha Loka, that you will never be born again. So it is go on. Okay. So that is why it says there's no loss or diminution. Say, like, for instance, now you are up to chapter 2, that after that you decide not to come. You're already saved. All right. But the question of Bhagavad Gita is, can I put a full stop to my repeated birth, like what Dineshwari was saying just now? But Dinesh said, I do not want to be born again. In this birth itself is such a terror, so much of horror, right? Frustration everywhere, right? With our spouse, with our children, with our parents, with our neighbor, with our siblings, with our cousins, right? Even when they want to make a movie, if they're going to create a movie without any problem, any suffering, people don't even want to watch that. Yes or not? They have to watch a movie where there's a cry, when there's a lamentation, where there's a death. Like recently, there's one movie, right? Amaran or something like that. It became a big hit because first, it was a young boy, right? Who was so mischievous, then fell in love. Falling in love was the first thing. Then after that, what happened? Then he went and go and join the army. He lived the life, and end of the day, get killed when the child is still young, and it became a big hit, right? But there's another movie came out. It was such a flop because there's no emotion. See, because people are so used to seeing death, cry, lamentation, pain. When any movies also don't do that, they don't make it, right? I'm based, some people will be sending it. I'll be seeing in my Facebook sometimes. I was wondering what this comment is all about, right? So this life is full of pain. But if you want to put a full stop to this, or start to put an attempt to that full stop. Okay, I make a decision. I want to become a PhD. I want to do my PhD. All right, I decided, okay, now I'm going to do my PhD. So what I should do? I should take my first step. Number 1, what course I should do? Number 2, who going to be my preceptor? All right, my supervisor. Very important. I cannot simply go and do my PhD without doing nothing. So who is my supervisor? Number 3, the topic that I'm going to create, or my theory, cannot be similar to somebody else. I have to create my own innovative. I can't create. So I have to take effort. Then I have to go and do research. So I have to do all that field work and paperwork and discussion, interviews, all these things. Then I come back to the conclusion. I submit. They say, you are done. Then I get my PhD. The same thing. So the Bhagavad Gita is teaching you step by step, starting from chapter 3. You'll be amazed, right? From chapter 3, how you can start slow from Karma Yoga and achieve to the highest Bhakti Yoga. And after that, we'll talk about renunciation, sannyasa. Right? Amazing. So how are you going to do it? So the Bhagavad Gita teaches you step by step. Right? Like as I said, who am I? Why am I here? I am fed up with life. I believe all of you, or maybe some of you. If you're young, you're just starting with life. But I'm fed up, enough. I do not want to start all over again. Right? It is something very frustrating. Just like what happened in my family. In the last 1 year, my mother's 3 siblings passed away. First, her youngest brother, then her own sister last month, now his own brother in India, yesterday. But my mother is a devotee and she's like, looking for, well, it happens. I am so surprised to see the transformation happening. That's the power of Bhagavad Gita. So where are you going to stop? Yes, you're going to take your time. Okay, after chapter 2, I stop. I don't want to bother again. It's okay. Because I know I'm saved. Yes, you are. You are saved. There's no doubt about it. But the question is, you have to born again and going to start being. So now you can even make an effort that in this very birth itself, you can seize your birth again in this material world and go to that eternity. That is to go to Vaikunta and Goloka. You will never fall down again. And who is the best person to tell you the secret? Krishna himself. Krishna himself going to say, right? So that's the thing that is okay. Now let's look at 46. So what is it? Yavan artha udapani sarvata sampluto dake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. So it says all the purpose served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all purpose of the Vedas can be served by one who knows the purpose behind them. All right. So now, all right. So now what we can understand from here. Okay. So the ritual, the sacrifice mentioned and all these things, what is the purpose behind it? All right. So now, for instance, all that purpose served in a small well. That means when you look at the small well, what is the purpose of the small well? Drinking water, bathing, washing, cleaning, and all these things. Also can be served by the great reservoir of water. We go to the dam with the great reservoir, it also can be served. And that also can still serve you. So all the purpose in the Vedas. So all the purpose in the Vedas, that means if such a big dam of water, of course you cannot go near such a huge dam. How are you going to take? Such a big dam of water also can be served by a small well. Similarly, all the knowledge of the Vedas can be served by the one who knows the purpose behind the Vedas. What is that purpose of the Vedas? Right? So what is the purpose of the Vedas? All right? This thing. Okay. Now, 49. But after that, Krishna says, okay, first he says, you must know what is the purpose of the Vedas. All right? The one who can serve the purpose. That means the person who knows behind it. So now Krishna is explaining. Then after that, 249, Krishna says another important thing of understanding. All right, I believe all of you have decided, yes, I'm going to put a full stop to my birth and I'm going to try to start my endeavor. Yes or not? So maybe this is the time. Okay, I just want to try my best. So what is that first thing? He says, Durena hyavaram karma. Durena means fast. Duram. Durena hyavaram karma. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Buddhau sharanam anvicha. Kripana palahetava. Now Krishna is start to speak. Right? It's going into the subject. Durena. Durena means far away. Hya avaram karma. Abominable. All the nasty karma. Karma means activity. How? Buddhi yoga. Buddhi means intelligent. Yoga. What is yoga means? Yoga means linking with God. Okay? It's not a stretching exercise, stretching hand and leg. Yoga means the attempt of linking yourself with God, we call yoga. Okay, now here Arjuna is explained, called as Dhananjaya, the winner of wealth, Dhananjaya. Buddha Sharanam Anvicha. In that consciousness, Buddhi, intelligent. Buddha, in that consciousness, Sharanam, surrender, Anvicha, to that Lord. Kripana, Palahetava. The one who want to enjoy the fruit, they will suffer. Okay, now let's look at the verse. So what the verse says? Oh Dhananjaya. So now Krishna is known Dhananjaya. Keep all abominable activities far distant. All abominable, all that nasty, dirty and all this, keep it far away. All right? By devotional service. So when we start to perform devotional service means we are putting all our abominable, all our dirty thinking, thought and everything far away. All right? Then after that, he says, in that consciousness, so once you, the purified mind, he says, surrender unto the Lord. Surrender unto the Lord. Okay? But those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. I mean, those who want to enjoy the fruit. That means I work, I get the money, I enjoy. So they are known as the misers. Misers means what? The one who suffers. Miserly. All right. Miserable people are called misers. All right. Those who want to enjoy the fruit. That means I earn the money, I bring back home, I buy a car. So all is me and mine. So these are the called misers. That's why everybody is encouraged to do charity. Why? Sacrifice. If you cannot sacrifice, you're called as misers. All right. So now let's look at that result of fruitive activities versus Buddhi Yoga in Krishna consciousness. Okay, fruitive activities. So in fruitive activity, that means I do my job, I take the thing, and I simply enjoy good or bad. So what happened? The fruitive activity, there's a loss of diminution of the result and incur sins. There's a loss or diminution of the result, and that also incurs sin. It's sinful. Okay. So I mean, when I do something, okay, example, I earn my money, say I earn 3,000 a month, I spend, I pay for my car, I pay for my house, I pay for my children, I pay for my food and everything, end of the month, finish. So there's a loss. There's no benefit for me. I take the money, I spend, that's it. And that is also this act also can incur sin. Number two, it does not get rid of good and bad reaction. That means I work, I come back home, I take care of my family, don't do charity and all this. This doesn't get rid of my good and bad karma. Okay. The third thing is no guarantee of human life in the next birth. By doing that, there's no guarantee you'll get a form of a human. All right. The intelligence is not fixed. Okay. No peace and no happiness. That's why you see, the more the people are rich and the more they are more miserable. Okay. And results in entanglement. Sometimes we over-endeavor. All right. We want to do something, we can't. We go and pawn our chain or this thing to the pawn shop and still can't. We want to send our children for higher education. We go and take money from the loan shark or whatever. We want to do some festival or something because of desire, uncontrolled desire. Because I want to enjoy the fruit, go and take with the loan shark and only get stuck and get entangled. So once you become entangled, you can never come out of this, right? So, and also it entangles one work. So it creates an entanglement. Okay, you get stuck. But what happened if you work in Krishna consciousness? What is the thing? No loss or diminution. So all your effort there's no loss. Even you do your job, you still get your benefit, right? In 240, in chapter 2, text 40. Does not incur sin. In verse 38, Krishna explained all these attempts does not incur sin. And refutation of fear and sinful reaction argument. Get rid of good and bad reaction. So this thing will get rid of all good and bad karma. One is sure to be born as a human being, either in the family of a cultured Brahmana or rich aristocrat. 240. And if you look at chapter 2, text 40 purport, it's mentioned here. A person is sure to be born even either in the family of a devotee or a family of rich and aristocrat. You'll born into a rich of maybe Ambani family or something like that. Okay. If you engage like this. Intelligence is fixed and resolute because you're not expecting any result. All the result you're offering to Krishna. Okay. And these also result in peace and happiness. 66. All right. And result in liberation. This also can liberate you and free one from bondage of work. So all this intelligent, okay, this result, peace and happiness we'll discuss as we go on in the following chapters, especially chapter 3. All right, 54. Text 54, Arjuna says, Arjuna vacha stita pranyasya ka basa samadhi tasya keshava stitadi kim aprabhasheta kim ashita vrajeta kim. So now Arjuna became even more. Arjuna is wondering. He asked a question. He says, Oh Krishna, what are the symptoms of one consciousness is thus much intranscendent? Or in other words, what happened to the person who become very devotional? They become very spiritual, divine, right? They transcend into the consciousness, all right? How? What is the symptom? How to know? Okay, how does he speak? And what is language? And how does he sit? And how does he walk? So now Arjuna is asking a question. When a person becomes spiritual, how his activity is going to look like? Okay. And 54, Arjuna also continues, Stita pranyasya ka basa samadhi tasya keshava stitadi kim prabhasheta Kim asita vrajeta kim. He says, Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what are the symptoms one who consciousness is this much in transcendent?" Oh, why these things repeating again? Right. Okay, now. So let's see how Krishna answers. Right. How does he speak? Verse 56 to 57. The question is implies how the intelligence and words respond to the affection, anger, and neutrality. So the answer is 256. Krishna answers, equipoised in happiness. Equipoised means he's always steady in happiness and distress. Whether he's happy or distressed, he's always steady. Right? Free from attachment. They are free from all kind of attachment, fear and anger. Unaffected by goods and evil, and firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. Okay, they are not affected by the good or evil things, and they're firmly fixed on perfect knowledge. Okay, how does he sit? It mentioned in verse 58 and 59. All right, he uses his senses only for Krishna service. Based on higher taste, he can control his senses. So how the analogy like tortoise and devotees? When you see tortoise, sometimes when people go and attack the tortoise, that you just pull the limbs into the thing. All right, so just like that. Okay, so implies to keep senses always in service of the Lord without and withdraw the sense when it's not required. Okay, how does he walk? All right, while engaging senses, he does with regulation and religious principle. All right, so that means while engaging his senses, his mind is okay, he does with regulation, with religious principle. Okay, this is just an introduction, please. Don't worry about this, whether you get it or don't get it, because all these things are going to explain in detail as we go on. All right, then in 72, okay, so Krishna says, Esha Brahmi Stiti Partha Nainang Prapya Vimuyati Stitva Syang Anta Kalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richati. So he says, that is the way of spiritual and godly life. So Krishna is explaining. So that's the way. So what is that? What is that way of spiritual? Okay, that's the way of spiritual and godly life. After attaining which a man is not bewildered. Once you go to that, you're not bewildered. You're not confused. You're not confused. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death. So Krishna says, if a person can situate it like this, even at the time of the moment of death, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So how to go back home? How to not to be born again here? Krishna start revealing from this verse, because this is what you're going to learn in all the following verses, in all the following chapters. So he says, this is the way of spiritual and godly life. And what is that? All right, work without attachment, engage your mind, work without attachment, and surrender the result to Krishna. Okay, then and Krishna says, but once the person who attaining into that level, that means once you can do that, he's not bewildered, he's not confused, right? So even he says, even if a person can remain like this, even at the time of death, okay, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So that's what it says. Okay, but this is what the summary that we have discussed here. This is the entire summary is going to be explained in detail in the entire Bhagavad Gita. All right. So like that, take the commitment. So this is the commitment that we always suggest. So read Bhagavad Gita daily. Okay. So now, since we have finished our chapter 2 is the longest chapter. And after that, chapter 18 is the longest chapter. Other than that, everything are within 30, 40 verses, every chapter. Okay. But we are only taking the cream of it. Okay. So read the Gita for now. We have already passed through. So today, take the time to study the entire 72 verses today and get prepared for tomorrow's chapter 3. All right. And also do chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Why? We also discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So is there any questions, any comment? So that's all. We end the session here. So next class, Karma Yoga. All right. The next class is chapter 3. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss on Karma Yoga, which is going to be very, very, very interesting chapter. Because today, now we are only discussing the overview, over all the overviews, but tomorrow we're going to go into specific. Okay. So, any questions? Any
No,
comment?
Prabhu.
So I hope you all understand. Huh? You get it? Huh? Was I fast?
Okay, okay, Prabhu. Gita, I'll repeat
Sure.
the
Say again.
It was okay, but later I'll refer to the video again.
Oh, okay. Now, how is there any way that I need to improve?
Last part. Last was too fast.
Oh, last part was too fast. Okay, like which one?
When we go to syllabus 2.54, and then after continuous a bit fast lah.
Oh, you find it too fast. I see. Why didn't you stop me just now itself?
It's okay.
But you got it or not? You got the idea?
I understand, but maybe when we go through the slides again, we will better understand.
Okay, you go through the video again, right?
Okay.
Yeah. No, because in every class, I need to take at least 3 chapters to get to know you and also to get to settle down the speed, right? Because whenever first time when you start, you'll be like, clunk about, right? So that's the thing. And of course, this morning also a lot of challenges. Suddenly my Wi-Fi was not working. Suddenly I couldn't find my slide. My computer crashed. Oh boy. This morning before I start the session, I had a fantastic challenges. So by the time I prepared everything, it's all clunk about already. Okay. So I hope that okay, but please bear with me. So as we go on in chapter 3, you're going to get more and more taste and more happiness, right? There's a lot of things Krishna is going to reveal to you. Okay. But of course, as you see, I jump verses. So I hope that you can go back and start to read the verses. Okay. So any other question?
Okay. The soul will never die, never ending, never destroying. Is it okay? You can hear me?
What is it, Mataji? I can hear you. Say it again.
Oh, I say it's our soul will never die, never destroy, never we won't means the soul. What is the soul given us explain in the Bhagavad?
Okay. Very good question. Actually, you are the soul. You are, Rusen Chang, are the soul that living in the body. So I am the soul, but I'm living in the body with the name Padita Tarna. You are the soul living in that body of called Rusen Chang. So the soul is I, that you and I are that soul. You got it? Got it, Mataji?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. So that means we are all individual soul. That means, for instance, I am this body, I'm living in this body. And next birth, maybe I change to another body. So once I change to, say, like, for instance, today, this body I born into an Indian body. Okay. Next birth, I born into a Chinese body. What happened? So the soul will enter into a Chinese. That means I got into a new body in a Chinese form. So I start to carry my name, maybe Chong, like Chong Kok Kwan. Okay, my best friend's name, Chong Kok Kwan. So my name will be Chong Kok Kwan. All right. I'll speak Mandarin, I'll speak Cantonese. All right. I will eat with chopstick. All right. And I will have a different way, different look and everything. But in previous birth, I was an Indian. All right. So that means the soul is always there. That means I am the soul. I will take form according to every body that I take. That means once I enter into Chinese body, I'll act like, I know. I see. Okay. It's mentioned in chapter 17 or 18, right? Remember, once the soul get into a certain body, it will start to have a certain kind of ears, certain kind of eyes, and will act in certain ways. The 3 mode of material nature. Okay, we also discuss that if we go on. So the soul is, I am the soul. Okay, and I am living in this body. But the thing is, the illusion is so great, I feel so convinced with my body. I feel I am the body and all this, but actually I am the soul. Okay.
They say the next time we will never want to be human.
Mataji, speak up loud. I can't hear you.
It say we'll never become this body again, and maybe we cannot find a human body. You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. We were never born to be a human body again. It say
Who say?
like we leaving this body. So after with that, we will never choose to become a human again. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. See, we must understand the body is granted to us. We cannot choose our body. How we're going to look and how we're going to act and all these things are granted, sanctioned. Krishna sanctioned this body to you. We cannot say, I want this kind of body. I want no. So the body has been sanctioned. And how the sanctioning process happen according to our desire. What is my desire? Okay. According to my desire, I'll be sanctioned a body accordingly. So when will I not get a human body is when I go back home, or say not human body, any material body, just like even a snake, even a cockroach, also a body. So if the day that I won't get this situation when I go back home, back to Godhead. Once I give up this material condition of life, I go to the spiritual condition of my life, I will get a spiritual body. Because anything in material body, material life, it has expiry date. Anything. There's nothing is permanent in this material world. Everything got expiry. The body got expiry. Everything got expiry. The thing that only doesn't expire is we. We are the soul, which is spiritual by nature. We doesn't get expired. Say sometimes, for instance, so why we are given such a body? All right. Just why is it? Because this body is we are given a body that conducive to live in this planet. Okay. It's just like an uniform. In this planet, okay, like for instance, we are living on land. So we are given like this. And the fish will get a body that conducive to live in the water. So according to the nature, it lives in the water, it gets a conducive thing. Okay. We cannot live in the water, we cannot live in the space. Just conducive. Okay, what are the environment I can live in? I get the body according to that environment. So this material body comes with expiry. Okay, it doesn't last long. So once I, the eternal living soul, come into this planet Earth, I will be given a body according the conducive to live in this world. Example, when I go to prison, I'll be given a prison uniform. I'll be wearing all orange. I'm not sure in America it looks like orange, but I'm not sure what is in Malaysia. But you'll wear a uniform in the prison. So and what is that uniform? Okay, that uniform that shows that you are living in a prison. Okay, so like that. So this is the form of the body that given to us. Like that, there are 8.4 million species. We will discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. It's too early to speak about that. So if we really want to put a full stop to that, that's a secret revealed in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Have I answered you?
Yeah. And how could we let go the old body?
Oh, how to let go the old body? The old body is let go by nature. It's all like preparation by the nature. All right. The old body will be let go when the time comes. Okay, when the time comes, the soul, okay, feels that, okay, like for instance, we have a quota. Okay, example, I'm staying in this house for rental, 3 years rental agreement. The 3rd year onwards, when it comes the 36th month, I have to leave this place. Similarly, we are renting this body made of this material nature. When the time comes, we will let go the body, we just go on. It's not that how we going to do it. It will happen by default. It will happen automatically. Okay?
Okay, very steady. Good.
Okay, Mataji, you got it, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Because my speaker is that side. That's why I need to put my ears near the speaker. Okay, anyone else? Got any question? Okay. When there's no question, we end the session here. We continue again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. All right. So till then, have a beautiful day. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyacha paditanam pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna and have a wonderful day. Good morning.